Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going over an article by the Washington Post which talks about Donald Trump encouraging Vivek Ramaswamy to seek the Ohio open Senate race. Ramaswamy, of course, the co-leader of the Department of Government Efficiency along with Elon Musk, Trump is apparently encouraging him to run for the Ohio Senate seat to replace J.D. Vance. President-elect Trump has encouraged the billionaire biotech entrepreneur to consider filling Ohio's vacant Senate seat should the post be offered to him. According to two people with knowledge of the matter who spoke in the condition of anonymity, described the private deliberations. Ramaswamy publicly withdrew his name from consideration for the post in November after Trump chose him to lead the Department of Government Efficiency panel alongside Elon Musk. But the Ohio native has reemerged in recent days as one of the leading contenders for the Senate seat and is in advanced discussions with GOP leaders about the position, people said. J.D. Vance, who previously held the seat, officially resigned last Friday to serve as Trump's vice president. Under Ohio law, Governor Mike DeWine will appoint a replacement for the next 2 years, and then a special election on November 3rd, 2026 will decide who serves the term until it expires in 2029. While the decision rests with Governor DeWine, Trump has personally appealed to Ramaswamy to accept the appointment if offered, the people have said. That last-minute message was conveyed within the past week. Ramaswamy has long planned to run for governor of Ohio in 2026 after completing his work with DOGE, which is supposed to wrap up operations by July 4th, 2026. It's unclear how the appointment would affect Ramaswamy's leadership of DOGE, which is not an official government body. But some of his allies have argued that it would advance the group's legislative goals by giving him a perch in Congress. Musk and Ramaswamy hope to push for significant spending cuts, an effort that will require the cooperation of lawmakers to be successful. DeWine traveled to Mar-a-Lago where he met with Trump, other candidates in the mix, according to Ohio news reports, including Lieutenant Governor John Husted, DeWine's lieutenant governor obviously, and Jane Timken, who ran for Senate in 2022. I'll have an announcement probably next week, DeWine told reporters in Florida on Thursday. Spokespeople for Ramaswamy, Trump, and DeWine declined to comment on this. The ramp-up discussions of Ramaswamy moving to the Senate come at a moment when the DOGE leaders have sometimes been at odds with other parts of Trump's coalition. Musk and Ramaswamy faced criticism from Trump supporters in late December over defending a visa program for skilled immigrant workers, and it sort of made a split on MAGA in terms of whether to support this issue or not. That's what the article is referring to there. Some supporters argue that a shift to the Senate could give him more power to implement his agenda, not less. I think it's a great idea and he should do it, said Avik Roy, a former advisor to leading GOP policymakers and founder of the Foundation of Research and Equal Opportunity, a think tank that supports free markets. In terms of DOGE component, you want someone quarterbacking the legislative and statutory components in the Senate, and for Vivek, I think he and the country will benefit greatly from him serving in the elected office. Ramaswamy, a Cincinnati native, ran for the 2024 presidential election on the GOP nomination side, dropped out last January, and endorsed Trump. He has been friends with Vance since the two were at Yale Law School together in the early 2010s. Musk is also in favor of Ramaswamy occupying the Senate seat, one of the people did say. So that's all the information on the article. It's a very fascinating conversation. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I still think Husted is the leading favorite to fill the Senate seat as of right now. But it's a very interesting conversation and one that could potentially be very, very interesting. So this is the filling this legislative session side of things. I do want to shift a little bit to my more area realm of expertise, which is the state of Ohio itself and the electoral prospects. Because this race, if Ramaswamy, let's say hypothetically, is appointed to the seat, he will fill the seat through 2026, where there will be a special election in the 2026 midterm elections to run for the rest of the term. And this is where things get interesting, because in 2024, we just saw the state of Ohio vote for Donald Trump at the presidential level for Trump over Kamala Harris by 11 points, 55% to 44%. We also saw at the same time Democratic incumbent Senator Sherrod Brown lose to Republican Bernie Moreno 50% to 46%, with a Libertarian candidate getting 3% of the vote. And the reason I'm mentioning this is Sherrod Brown is rumored to be one of the candidates on the Democratic side that could potentially run for Senate of Ohio in 2026 for this open seat. And seeing as Brown just lost the race, yes, he was an incumbent, but he just lost by 4%, which would be a lean margin, under 5% to make it likely. I think at very least, Ramaswamy versus Sherrod Brown would be a very competitive race in 2026, one that I still think the Republicans would be favored to win, given Ohio shift in recent elections, where again, Trump won it by 11 points in 2024, he won it by 8 in 2020, and he won it by about 7 to 8 in 2016. So it's been a pretty consistent, likely Republican state at the presidential level. A lean Republican win at the Senate level at very least says the state could potentially be competitive in 2026. I still think Republicans are favored to win this race, but if Sherrod Brown does run and it becomes Ramaswamy versus Brown, this at very least would start off as a lean race for Ramaswamy and the Republicans, and I don't think would do much better than that in terms of the ratings leading to the election. But primarily looking at Moreno versus Brown, because this is probably the closest that Senate race will be like, the typical Democratic areas in Ohio, you have Cuyahoga County, where the city of Cleveland is, voted very big for Sherrod Brown by about 37 points. Toledo, Lucas County, big Democratic area, 57-38 for Brown. And Franklin County, this is where the city of Columbus is, voted 66-32 for Brown over Moreno. The city of Cincinnati, 58-39 for Brown over Moreno. In the early 2000s, this was more of a competitive county. That when Republicans won statewide in Ohio, they typically won. But now the pathway for Republicans winning in Ohio typically involves winning the rural Republican areas in the middle parts of Ohio and the suburban areas outside of Cleveland. For instance, Lake County voting for Moreno, 51-46. I believe it's Geauga County or Gia County, 57-41. Ashtabula, 57-39. Trumbull, 51-45. Mahoning, 48.5, 48.3. Portage County, 51-45. Stark County, 55-42. Medina County, 56-41. Summit County, 55-41 for Brown over Moreno. Lorraine County, 51-46, Brown over Moreno. So these are the areas in Ohio, the surrounding suburbs around Cleveland and Cuyahoga County that I'm watching. You also have like Butler County and Warren County and Claremont County, all kind of surrounding Hamilton and Cincinnati. So those are important areas to watch. Wood County is an important suburban area right outside of Lucas County, alongside with Fulton County, Henry County, and Wood County and Sandusky. They kind of make up a very important House district up here. We also have Erie County. This is another close suburban county as well to watch for in Ohio. That will be a big sign in how Ramaswamy would be doing in a race like this. But I'm doing this now because, of course, this election is still about 2 years away, but these are the conversations that will need to be had because it's more likely than not Ramaswamy or whoever the Republican candidate is will be going up against either Sherrod Brown or Tim Ryan, two of the top Democratic candidate recruits they have in the state of Ohio. And even though Ohio is shifting, become more and more of a Republican state with each election, at the presidential level, it's a likely to safe Republican state, almost guaranteed now. At the Senate level, at very least, it may not be 100% there yet. As I mentioned, Moreno just beat Brown by 4 points. If you want to look back, we can go to the Senate elections and look at Ohio in 2022. J.D. Vance defeated Tim Ryan by just 6.1%. So the two most recent Senate elections voted for Republicans barely in a likely margin and defeating a Democratic incumbent in a lean margin. Both of them are relatively competitive numbers. So we're going to have to watch that going forward, but this is a very interesting conversation and a very interesting move where Trump is putting potentially a very top ally of his, trying to maybe get him into the United States Senate, giving Trump a reliable MAGA enforced vote. So very, very interesting, and I'm curious to hear what you think about this. That'll do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to give the video a like, click subscribe, share with your friends and family, and I hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button and make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really, really, really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day, so I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.